But yeah, definitely my favorite. But yeah, I love spooky, scary movies. Paranormal stuff. Like, I've done one paranormal investigation, I think. Yeah. And I was at Malvern Manor, which is south of Council Bluffs. It's also, if you ride the Wabash far enough, which I've done, you can get to Malvern. And I've actually cycled to Malvern and to the manor just for fun. But yeah, it's a place that is local that's had some supposed hauntings and paranormal activity. I've also visited in Iowa the Villisca Axe Murder House. Didn't do an investigation, just took a tour during the day. I would have done an investigation, but the day that I went with a group, and it was actually a podcast group, and so the date that they picked, I actually had tickets to a Blink-182 concert at Stir Concert Cove. So it was, like, I had seen Blink-182 2 times prior, but I still wanted to go to the concert, so I didn't do the paranormal investigation, but I was able to kind of hear about it later. So yeah, I've really only done the paranormal investigation at Malvern Manor, which was kind of fun. I mean, we had some dowsing rods and an EMF, and we got a little bit of activity, a little bit of response, so that was pretty exciting. And I would not be one to try to meddle with Ouija boards. I'm never gonna bring a Ouija board out. That's just I don't want to mess with that. So just like my adventures here, anything I do, if I do another paranormal investigation, it will always be peaceful. I will not try to invoke evil spirits or demons or, try to piss anybody off. Alright, before we go on this, I just kind of take a little 360 view so you can kind of just take it all in. I know it's nothing much, but I still think it's pretty out here. I think I just love the peace and quiet, and I just love the green. It's just pretty. So, yeah, as far as paranormal investigations, I've only done the one. I was supposed to do a couple more, which my schedule just didn't allow it. And another time I was supposed to do one with a couple friends on their wedding weekend, and it was 2020, and we actually ended up getting COVID, so we couldn't make it. So that was a disappointment. And this is Indian Creek, if you're not familiar, so that's what we're walking over right now. I'll see if I can get a good view for you. I'll extend the invisible selfie stick. Not sure if that gives you a lot more view. Alright, bring it back down. Get back to about where I was. Sorry, just making adjustments. So, let's see, I was talking about paranormal activity. Yeah, I like spooky stuff, but I don't want to piss anything off, so I'm always respectful, and always, you want to make sure you do this if you ever do an investigation. Hopefully you're doing it with experienced people. You always just let them know, thank you for, thank you for interacting with us, but you are not welcome to follow me home. So always make sure that that is set. You're not welcome to follow me home. So yeah, this is the trail I was talking about that goes down further, and it will take you either to those baseball and soccer diamonds, like, or by Twin City and Culver's Marketplace area, or you could go the other direction where it has that fork, just go straight, and then it'll take you towards like Cattleman Pool, Jonesy's Taco House area. And yeah, so we're just heading back now. I'll probably check the camera battery here in a second just to make sure that's doing okay. But other than that, I hope you guys are enjoying this. Another cool spooky place that I got to see locally is the Museum of Shadows. So it's just kind of like a museum with a lot of scary stuff. So a lot of dolls that are reportedly haunted, some little caskets and things like that. So if that's something that you're into, that's kind of cool to see that. And I'm just talking about anything. Thank you. And so I'm just talking about anything and everything right now. Paranormal activity is not my life, but I just thought it was a good topic to talk about for today. So just so you know, I'm not just all about paranormal, but hey, I'm definitely... All right, so I checked the battery and I just went ahead and replaced it so that it doesn't die on me. But where was I? I was talking about spooky stuff and paranormal activity. So Museum of Shadows, that was cool, that was local. Let's see, we also have the Squirrel Cage Jail. You can do tours there, and that one's also reportedly had some paranormal activity, so it might be something cool you can check out too. They have tours there. I think you can make a reservation for a paranormal investigation, so I haven't done that myself, but like I said, I know people who have, so it's definitely something that's available. The other cool place that I got to see was well, it's the Van Meter visitor town. So on our way to like Boone and Ames, Iowa area, there's a little town called Van Meter, and so we just stopped there to see that small town because, you know, supposedly there was like this creature that was like, I don't know, it kind of almost seemed like human-like, but like with wings. So that was just a little tourist stop. I didn't see anything there, and honestly, who knows, that might have just been made up to get some people to show up to their town. It's a very small town, but anyways, check that town out just on the way out to do some other plans out in Boone and Ames. Then you've got Hummel Park in Omaha, and that's a place that not only has been like reported to have some paranormal activity and a lot of other interesting and odd things, like potential like satanic worshiping stuff, I don't know. There's the morphing staircase, or the devil's staircase, which you are supposed to try to count the stairs going up and then try to count them going down, and you'll never get to the same number when you do that. And if you do, then it's said that you will meet your death. So I don't know, it ends in like this little parking lot. I think they call it like, I want to say the Devil's Punch Bowl. I don't know. There's also like an area at that same park called the Devil's Slide. So just a spooky place, and unfortunately a lot of true crime has happened there, so it very well could have some sort of activity, some residual energy maybe. Not really sure I've hiked there during the daytime with my wife. It's actually what we did on our first anniversary because it was during the pandemic. So as far as our wedding anniversary, we just went for a hike. It was a beautiful day and didn't encounter anything strange, but it was daylight. And we recently went on a tour. It was a guided tour with one of the local guides. I don't remember her name, but I will try to look it up on Facebook and put it in the comments of this video description in case you're interested. She did a fantastic job. Just talking about a little bit of history, and she offers different tours. So some of them are more, I think, true crime focused, whereas the others might be more like paranormal, ghost, and spooky. But yeah, it was a fun tour. We did it. We met with a large group in the evening. I think it was like $15 for the tour, so it's very reasonable. And then of course, if you liked your tour, you definitely want to leave a tip at the end. So anyways, yeah, it was pretty cool to hear some of the stories. Yeah, she's frequented Hummel Park over the years, and she's got some stories from her own experiences as well as other people's. She's been doing tours there for some time. But she talked about a bipedal figure that was very large, like we're talking as tall as like some of those light posts that are out there, and kind of like glowing eyes. And she wanted to give this a name because she had seen it on more than one occasion, and other people that weren't part of her tour groups had said that when they went on her tour, they were like, hey, oh my gosh, my mom or my friend's mom had this experience back in, like, 10 years ago or whatever, maybe 20 years ago, and they described the same type of like figure, the same type of entity. And so she gave it the name Timothy, the tour guide. She's like, so I just call him Timothy. So it's kind of fun, but definitely recommend that if that's something you like to do. And it was a little bit of hill, but honestly it was a very short distance that we traveled on the particular tour that I did, which was really just hearing about some of that paranormal, and then going up and down the morphing staircase. They do give you flashlights for the tour as well, because you typically take that tour as the sun is setting. So by the time we were going up and down the morphing staircase, it was pitch black. So you definitely need a flashlight or a cell phone light. It was very cool, and I totally would have recorded it, but I'd asked in advance if that was something she was interested in, if that was okay, and she said she didn't want that, and I totally respect that. I mean, that's her thing. So if you get a chance to do that, it's something you're interested in, I'd say do it. Maybe not on a day like today where it's like super hot. I should check the weather app to see what it feels like now. It is now 1:18, and again, it's let's see, we're in the heat advisory, Sunday, June 28th. So dangerous heat and humidity. All right, let's see. So it says that it is 91, feels like 100. So that's what we're working with. And if anybody's watching from outside of the United States, that is 91 degrees Fahrenheit. So I'm not sure what that is in Celsius, and I'm not sure what 100 degrees Fahrenheit is either. But that's what it is. It's very humid, very sunny, but it's not very many people out here, which is kind of what I wanted. That was ideal for this walk. especially since I'm talking today, which I don't normally do. So Hummel Park I was just talking about. Let's see. I visited the Lizzie Borden axe murder house in Fall River, Massachusetts, and that was really cool to see. I'd always heard about the little rhyme that was made up, you know, as a younger adult. Lizzie Borden took an axe, gave her mother a 40 axe. When she saw what she had done, gave her father 41, which was inaccurate as far as the number of axe wounds that were found by the investigators at that time. But anyways, yeah, it's just cool to see. And ultimately, you know, though from a lot of the documentaries and things that I've watched, and even the tour that I've taken, you know, it seems like it's a possibility that Miss Lizzie Andrew Borden may have murdered her stepmother and her father, but nobody could actually prove that. I'm going to pause for a second just to wipe some sweat. So apologies. It is just very warm out here. Alright. And the journey continues. So that was a cool place to see. I also, while I was on that side of, I guess on that coast, I visited Salem, Massachusetts. Unfortunately, did not get to spend a lot of time there as much as I would have liked to. So didn't really get to see a whole lot, but was able to at least like visit that Salem Witch Museum and just kind of check out like the main area. I think we dined at like a restaurant called, I think it was like the Rockefeller restaurant. But yeah, it was a cool place. And then I did like pay for a short little tour through this little store that has a bunch of like scary movie memorabilia. Some of it's signed. I think it was like Count Orlok's is what it was called, I believe. Trying to think. Oh yeah, then when I went to Las Vegas, I took a day to check out if you're familiar with Ghost Adventures, Zach Bagans, he does like collect a bunch of haunted objects and artifacts, and he put them all in a museum in Las Vegas. So I did get to go there with a few friends and check that place out, and I thought it was pretty cool. So I'd say if you've got some free time and you are in Vegas and you like spooky things and it's up your alley, you should check it out. They also have a very cool mob museum in Las Vegas, which, man, I would have loved to spend more time there, but we didn't have that much time that day, so we're trying to pack as much into our time there as we could. So yeah, you could spend hours there for sure, but we only had like maybe an hour and a half, so we wanted to see it, and like we were running out of time, so we just were like, hey, let's just go see it, see what we can. But yeah, I would definitely recommend that, and just give yourself more time so you can really explore and see all the things. So anyways, that's just me talking about all things spooky and ghosts, paranormal, I guess. What's another fun topic? Well, I talked about how I am an investigator of financial crimes, and I basically am specialized in cryptocurrency. So that just means I get to look at fiat, which is like your US dollars and euros, yen, that kind of thing. But then you add on that other layer, which is cryptocurrency. Some people might call that digital assets. So that's part of where I got this YouTube name. So I was trying to kind of brainstorm different ideas for a YouTube name, and I guess I'm kind of wandering, whether I'm driving, walking, jogging, cycling, whatever I might be doing. I guess you could just consider it wandering. And Satoshi is the name, the first name of either the creator of Bitcoin or a group of individuals who created Bitcoin. No one knows who was actually the creator, which is kind of what makes Bitcoin so unique and special. But basically it was written into the code, and the person or persons identified themselves as Satoshi Nakamoto. So that's just kind of where my channel name came from, since I'm passionate about what I do with work. And I've also, you know, in the past I've actually bought cryptocurrency and sold it for a little bit of profit. So the other thing of the name Satoshi, it's the smallest unit of Bitcoin. So like, for instance, with a US dollar, you know, you have the cent, and you have like 1 cent, 5 cent, 10 cents, and 100 cents makes a dollar. It's the same idea with Bitcoin. So the smallest, unnecessary, I know, because I have a sport bike, there's no reason for that. So side note, when you're at a stoplight and you see a motorcycle rider and they're like, vroom, you know, just rev bombing, unnecessary, no reason for that. I don't do it. So, but I think it's just a thing, you know. If you don't have that BDE, maybe you just have to have a little something else in your back pocket. I don't know.